I never thought I'd be the kind of woman who talks about facial hair on the internet, but here I am, because no one warned me. No doctor, no friend, no article ever said, "Hey, the stuff you do every day without thinking, that might be the reason your chin hairs are getting worse." And believe me, it wasn't just one thing. It was a handful of tiny habits I never questioned. Until one day, I looked in the mirror and thought, where did that come from? Now, before you reach for the tweezers again, I want you to hear me out. I'm not here to scare you or sell you anything. I'm just an older woman who got tired of dealing with jawline sprouts, upper lip fuzz, and all the frustration that comes with them. And once I started learning the real reasons behind it, things backed by doctors, not beauty blogs, it was like a light bulb went off. Now, before we jump in, I'd love to know, where are you tuning in from? Comment below and share your city. I always enjoy hearing from you. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more tips like these. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming up next. Point 1. Eating too much sugar and processed carbs. Let's be honest, we've all had a sweet tooth at some point. For me, it started as a little reward. A muffin with my coffee, a cookie after lunch, maybe some toast or pasta for dinner. Nothing too crazy. After all, we've lived through enough, right? A little treat here, and there felt earned. But what I didn't realize was how quietly sugar was working behind the scenes, messing with my hormones and encouraging facial hair to grow in all the wrong places. Doctors now talk about something called insulin resistance, and it's more common in older women than we think. When you eat a lot of sugary or processed foods, white bread, pastries, soda, even some healthy cereals, your body stops responding properly to insulin. That sets off a chain reaction. More belly fat, more inflammation, and more testosterone. And when testosterone goes up while estrogen stays low, facial hair is often one of the first things we see. I'll be honest, I didn't make the connection right away. I thought the chin hairs were just aging. But once I cut back on sugar and started choosing real food, veggies, beans, lean protein, whole grains, I noticed changes. My energy leveled out. My skin looked less puffy. And those wiry hairs, they didn't show up as often. Now, I still enjoy something sweet now and then, but it's not my daily crutch. And the difference? It's visible on my face. Literally. So if your pantry looks like mine used to, full of crackers, snack bars, and comfort foods, maybe it's time for a gentle reset. Your hormones and your mirror will thank you. Point 2. Using the wrong skincare products. Now, let's move from the kitchen to the bathroom. For years, I was loyal to my night cream. It smelled lovely when on smooth and claimed to do all sorts of magical things. Tighten, lift, renew. I never questioned it. I figured if it said anti-aging, it must be helping, right? Well, it wasn't, at least not in the way I thought. One afternoon, my granddaughter, who's in medical school, bless her, took one look at the label and said, "Grandma, you know what's in this?" I didn't. The ingredients sounded like a chemistry experiment. Turns out a lot of the creams and lotions we've been using for years are loaded with things called endocrine disruptors, like parabens, phthalates, and artificial fragrances. Now, I didn't know what that meant either, but here's the short version. These chemicals mess with your hormones. And when you're postmenopausal, your hormones are already trying to rebalance. Add those disruptors into the mix, and it can tilt the scale even more, giving testosterone more room to dominate. And what happens then? You guessed it, more facial hair. So I made a switch. I didn't toss everything, but I started reading labels. These days, I use a gentle oat-based cleanser in the morning and organic rosehip oil at night. That's it. No fancy jars, no glittery promises. Just clean, simple, and kind to my skin and my hormones. If you're noticing more fuzz on your chin or jawline, take a look at what's in your skincare. You might be surprised at what's quietly working against you. Point 3, stressing too much and not managing it. Now, this one hits close to home. I come from a generation of women who just kept going. We didn't complain, didn't ask for help. We just powered through. We took care of the kids, the house, our aging parents, maybe even held down a job. And somewhere along the line, we forgot how to pause. We just carried that stress like it was a badge of honor. But here's what no one told us. Your body remembers every single bit of that stress. It doesn't just go away. It builds up. And for us older women, it starts to show in ways we never expected, like stubborn little chin hairs or fuzz along the jaw. Doctors call it chronic cortisol elevation. That means your stress hormone, cortisol, is staying high all the time. And when cortisol's high, your body shifts into survival mode. It stops caring about balance and starts doing what it thinks it needs to survive, which, for us, means estrogen drops and testosterone rises. And yes, that can lead to more facial hair. Once I learned this, I had to rethink how I handled stress. I didn't go to a spa or book a retreat. I just started small. A 20-minute walk after dinner, 5 minutes of journaling before bed, taking a breath instead of snapping back when someone was rude. It's not about avoiding stress completely. That's not realistic. It's about not letting it run your body. And since I've made peace part of my daily routine, I've felt calmer, slept better, and yes, noticed fewer new hairs popping up on my face. So, don't wait for a meltdown to start managing your stress. Do it for your peace and your skin. Point 4. Drinking coffee on an empty stomach. All right, let's talk about mornings. For most of my life, I'd roll out of bed, head straight to the kitchen, and pour myself a big mug of hot coffee. No food, no water, just coffee. Sometimes even 2 cups before I remembered to eat anything. Sound familiar? Here's the thing I didn't know until my doctor explained it. When you drink caffeine on an empty stomach, especially first thing in the morning, it spikes a hormone in your body called cortisol. Now, cortisol isn't all bad. It's your stress hormone, and it helps wake you up. But when your cortisol stays high every single morning, especially in your 60s and beyond, it starts to throw your other hormones off balance. And guess what that leads to? Yep, more facial hair. See, after menopause, our estrogen drops naturally. That makes testosterone, your male hormone, take the driver's seat. And high cortisol just adds fuel to that fire. The result? Chin hairs, cheek fuzz, those wiry little sprouts that seem to come out of nowhere. Once I understood this, I made a small change. Now, I eat something, anything, before I have my coffee. Sometimes it's half a banana, a few almonds, or a boiled egg. It doesn't have to be fancy, but it helps cushion my system, keeps my hormones steadier. And honestly, I've noticed fewer new hairs popping up since I switched. So if you're still doing the coffee first, breakfast later routine, I'm just saying, try flipping it. You might be surprised how much better you feel and how much your face will thank you. Point 5. Sleeping poorly or inconsistently. Let me ask you something and be honest with yourself. When was the last time you slept straight through the night and woke up feeling truly rested? Not just, I got by sleep, but deep, uninterrupted, peaceful sleep? For me, it had been years. I'd wake up at 2 or 3 a.m. to use the bathroom, then lie there staring at the ceiling for hours. I figured that's just what happens as we get older. Maybe you've told yourself the same thing. But one day, my doctor said something that stopped me in my tracks. Sleep isn't just about rest. It's how your body resets your hormones. I had no idea that poor sleep could actually be pushing my hormones even more out of balance. Turns out, when we don't get enough deep or REM sleep, our bodies can't regulate cortisol properly. That stress hormone stays high, which again leads to lower estrogen and higher testosterone. And that shift, you guessed it, more facial hair, especially on the chin, upper lip, and jawline. It's all connected. Poor sleep doesn't just leave you tired. It leaves your hormones confused. So I decided to treat sleep like a non-negotiable. No screens after 8 p.m. a magnesium supplement after dinner, a calming routine with soft lights, lavender mist on my pillow, and a wind-down book. Nothing fancy, just consistent. These days, I still wake up sometimes, but not every night. And when I do sleep well, I feel it in my body and see it on my face. If you've been brushing off your sleep issues like they're no big deal, please think again. Sleep isn't a luxury. It's a form of hormonal self-care. Point 6. Using hair removal products that worsen the issue. Let's talk about the part we don't like admitting, the plucking, the creams, the razors. When those stubborn chin hairs first showed up, I did what most of us do. I ran to the drugstore and grabbed whatever looked quick and easy. Hair removal cream. In the cart. Wax strips? Sure. One of those little battery-powered razors? Absolutely. And for a while it worked. Or at least it seemed like it did. But here's what no one tells you. Some of those hair removal products can actually make the problem worse over time. Depilatory creams, for example, can irritate your skin, mess with your pH levels, and cause inflammation. And when your skin is inflamed, your body goes into repair mode. And sometimes that repair includes growing hair back faster, darker, and thicker. Same thing with constant tweezing. If you're plucking the same spot over and over, your body gets the message that it needs to protect that area. And how does it do that? By making the hair stronger. I didn't believe it until my dermatologist said it straight to my face. The more you attack your skin, the more your body thinks you need that hair. That changed everything for me. I stopped fighting the hair like it was the enemy. Instead, I focused on the real causes, my hormones, my stress, my sleep, and my nutrition. These days, I use a gentle facial epilator once a week, and I'm careful not to irritate my skin. But more importantly, I stopped treating the symptom and started listening to what my body was trying to tell me. Because the truth is, facial hair isn't a failure. It's a signal. And once you get to the root of it, everything starts to feel a little more manageable. So let's bring it all together. Facial hair in our later years isn't just some random annoyance. It's often your body's way of saying, hey, something's out of balance. And the truth is, it's not your fault. No one told us that skipping breakfast, drinking coffee on an empty stomach, using fancy skincare full of hidden chemicals, or living in constant stress could be quietly shifting our hormones. No one warned us that sugar, poor sleep, or even how we remove the hair could be making it worse. But now we know, and knowing means we can do something about it. Here's what I want you to remember. You don't have to accept every change that comes with aging as permanent or hopeless. You are allowed to question, adjust, and take care of yourself in new ways. Small steps, like eating before coffee, switching to gentle skincare, choosing real food over sugary snacks, or taking 5 minutes to breathe, can make a bigger difference than you'd expect. I'm not perfect. I still have a few hairs that pop up here and there. But I'm not at war with my face anymore. I'm paying attention. I'm caring for myself in ways that actually support my body, not fight against it. And I hope after today, you will too. If this video helped you in any way, please take a moment to comment below. No more chin hairs. Let's let each other know we're not alone in this. And don't forget to subscribe if you want more real talk from a real woman who's walking this journey just like you. Until next time, stay strong, stay curious, and most of all, stay kind to yourself.